or Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. Tough break, Smitty. You can't get them all.
Smitty, I'm on your side.
No, you guys have a horrible ear for music.
Oh.
If you'd like to hear the uncut episodes, unedited with special bonus features and extra content, go to patreon.com/therapy and join the party. So, hey everybody, listen, stop what you're doing right now. Open up the iTunes store, go to our Facebook page, give us a 5-star review. If you don't want to write anything, just type something cryptic, like, you know what you did, or I'll never stop. I can't stop. You need to review us because we don't have any reviews to read on the show. So if you give us a 5-star review on iTunes or Facebook, we will read it on the show. Please go there now and give us a review.
All right, thank you. And we got some responses. We got a response from an episode we did last week. Walter.
Yeah. Walter, do you want me to read this? This is a good
go
letter.
ahead.
So Walter wrote in, and this is cool. He's responding to the last show, and he says this. Greetings, gentlemen. I've enjoyed the show since discovering it from your guest appearance on an episode of Ice Cream Social. Oh, cool. In your last episode, number 38, on reverse racism, I believe there's a fundamental misunderstanding of this term that needs to be corrected. I fear in our current political climate, the term reverse racism is being increasingly misused to mean poor me or but I'm white. There's a long history of racism in Guatemala, with people often identifying as Ladino, having Spanish ancestors and lighter skin, and the indigenous Mayan, a multicultural group that has lived in the region. For hundreds of years. The wealthy Ladinos tend to live in the city, and the poor indigenous live in the country on farms. Racism and sexism are both rampant throughout Guatemala. The poor are treated as second-class citizens, and the wealthy see it as their right to take advantage of them in any way they can. The writer of the email in your episode was being negatively affected based on his race and sex. His professor was singling him out and treating him harshly. This is describing racism, not reverse racism. Reverse racism is receiving a benefit based on race, sex, or other innate qualities. As a returned Peace Corps volunteer that lived in Guatemala for 2 years, I was a frequent victim of reverse racism, but only in as far as people should be treated equally. I also must admit that I did enjoy the benefits in some cases, such as I'd go into stores and be treated differently, being able to bring my bag in the store when other people weren't allowed to, or I would be picked up by taxi cabs and people that would, be happy to pick me up and give me, privileged treatment. I was the only white person out of thousands of locals. As a white male viewed as rich, I was permitted to do more than other people in the society. That is an example of reverse racism. As a Peace Corps volunteer, I hated receiving a benefit over the people I was there to work beside. Fundamentally, it just didn't sit well with me, and I would do what I could to influence equality. But this is one challenge I know I had little impact on. Keep up the great work. Say hi to the guys over at Ice Cream Social, Walter Abel, returned Peace Corps volunteer, and Seeds of Help Foundation Incorporated. Very cool, Walter.
Awesome. Thank you, Walter, and thank you for all your work.
Thanks for doing that. But I think he's right. I think that's a good point. Yeah. And that was something when I read this letter, I thought, man, okay, so racism, treating somebody in any negative way based on their race and those qualities. It doesn't matter what race they are. It doesn't become reverse racism because you're part of a majority. Right. It's inherently racism. And his point is, reverse racism is benefit. You've received a benefit from your race, a privilege, check your privilege kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. When that happens, he calls that reverse racism. It's a good point. Yeah, it's a really good point. A lot of people were scared when they saw that title, reverse racism. Like, as soon as they saw that, some people were tweeting at us, like, what the heck? And I was like, listen to the show.
That's why I didn't even bother listening to it.
I'm sick of all this.
What are these guys doing?
Yeah. But thank you for writing in, Walter, and thank you for everybody that gives us feedback on the show. We really appreciate it. That's all the time that we've got for this week's session. Thank you to those who contributed to our show today. We really appreciate it. Remember, pod therapy isn't something you should keep all to yourself. Help us reach others by sharing this episode. You can find us on Facebook.com/PodTherapy, on Twitter @PodTherapyGuys, and now on Patreon.com/therapy.
Do you want to add your own advice to today's questions? Post your thoughts at podtherapy.net and join the conversation. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Jim Jobin.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.